It's mailbag time. What's up, everyone? Happy Friday, July 25th. And good news on Justin Fields. Seems like maybe the first 8 minutes of yesterday's show were completely worthless. We welcome you. Jamie, guess who's on the show today?
Who's on the show today?
Guess. Tell everyone.
Look at your screen, Jamie.
Heath Cummings.
No, Dan's on the show. Who else is on the show today?
Dave.
Dave's on the show. Who else is on the show today?
You.
The Fantasy Cops are coming on the show today.
About time we had a good Fantasy Cops.
That was a terrible build-up.
Was it?
Wait, no, it wasn't great.
It was fine.
Okay.
It's about time Dan has a real background. Dan is not using the fake background today. He looks good. Looks like you have a nice kitchen there, a little exposed brick. I like that.
I mean, look, they're working on this room. It started in January. The kitchen is, I guess, coming along. The brick is here, but I got first world problems in this room, Adam. The room is not finished. There's no AC unit, so I'm sweating through. And worst of all, I had my own Larry David moment last night trying to unhinge my microphone stand from my desk to bring it over here to this desk. And you ever seen that scene where he has the X-Acto knife? Thomas knows. He's trying to fight through that plastic. And everybody who's had that plastic, like a plastic package they had to open, has been in this moment. And that was my moment. So I was unsuccessful. I lost. I'm holding the mic for the show.
Yeah, you look pretty silly. All right, anyway, let's get to the news and notes. Your emails at fantasyfootball@cbsi.com. A lot of your draft-a-thon questions. If you want to have your question read, you can just go to tinyurl.com/2025FFT, and we have mailbags every week. You can purchase, you can for $50, you can have your question read on the show. Apple Podcast questions, YouTube comments later on. Justin Fields is back at practice today. He has a dislocated toe, but it doesn't appear to be very serious, so looks like we are okay there with Justin Fields. Good stuff. Some guys who are looking good. Dave, what did you call this? The BS season, best shape?
Yes.
Yes. So guys who are looking good right now, not necessarily in the best shape of their life, but positive reports. Travis Kelce, Christian McCaffrey. They are two that jump out to me. I don't know if there's anyone else, but Kelce's in great shape, apparently, off to a good start in camp. McCaffrey, according to the San Francisco Standard, looks great. So what about these old men and their fantasy outlooks right now?
Nothing about it makes me more excited to draft them. I'm not moving them up just because they're in great shape. We knew that McCaffrey was healthy. We knew that Travis Kelce dropped a ton of weight. It's great. Let's hope it stays this way. Let's hope that maybe there's some value on Kelce and that McCaffrey is worth the first-round pick. I do feel like a lot of fantasy managers have already made up their mind on Christian McCaffrey, and that like 51% of them are like, no way, not touching him, going to get hurt again. And 49% are like, hell yeah, I want Christian McCaffrey. He can score 23 fantasy points a week and help me win my league. I'm going to lean with the 49%. I think that he can be an outstanding player. I am definitely going to go out of my way to draft Isaac Guerrero just in case. Let's face it, the guy's almost 30 years old. Things happen. But the fact that he's practicing, they've got a routine down, his arms still look strong as ever. That's all nice and good. I know what he's capable of doing on the field. I want players like that on my fantasy team.
Justin Jefferson left with tightness in his legs. It is precautionary. No need to be worried
done.
there.
Forget about him. His season's over. Don't draft him.
Let's do 8 minutes on the Vikings passing game without Justin Jefferson. Let's see. Jamison Williams says he's going to run more downfield routes. Oh, Jamie, Baker Mayfield raved about Emeka Egbuka. Said he's the real deal. What do you make of this?
I mean, it's exciting, especially with Godwin being banged up. So easy, pick starting around 9 or later at this point, and his ADP may continue to climb if Godwin continues to miss more practice time. So we'll see how long this plays out for the veteran there. But obviously, there's a lot to like about Egbuka if you've already drafted him and if you've taken him in any dynasty rookie-only drafts.
I think what's most interesting about what he said was that he does everything we ask him to, the blocking, the insert. So it's like, that's the reason I think he'll be on the field. And we know that for any of these rookies, for them to have fantasy success, they need to actually get the snaps that we're projecting them to get.
Okay. Ricky Pearsall could practice this weekend. Jamie and I were just talking yesterday about which 49ers wide receiver to rank ahead. And I said Pearsall and before this news. So you Jennings for Dan. Jamie had Jennings because Pearsall was currently on the PUP list. let's say Monday he's off the pup list. You're going to make a swap.
No. I had Jennings all off until the trade demand contract situation came up. Then when he said that, I switched it to Pearsall because I just don't like holdouts based on their recent history, hold-ins, whatever. The fact that he's practicing, for me, Jennings, I think, is the better of the two.
Dave?
I've been team Pearsall all along. Part of that report that you referenced, Adam, is that his GPS came in at his highest speed since he's been back with the 49ers. So I think the Niners are kind of taking it easy with Pearsall. They don't want to have him hurt his hamstring again. And I've been excited about him all along. His film speaks for itself.
This is a team that never lies about injury. So
did they lie about McCaffrey? Or did he just hurt himself?
Kyle Shanahan said if we played a game tomorrow, he'd be playing.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
insane.
that's true. Okay, they might have lied a little. But
by the way,
I don't want to say lie. Not
well.
truthful.
I mean, moments after Shanahan said that, I spent $55 on him in my home league, so it's a lot.
Man, what a controversial poll that Schaefer put up today on YouTube.
What was it?
Who's delivering you the best fantasy football advice this offseason so far?
Wow.
UPS Jamey, USPS Adam, FedEx Dave, or DHL Dan? So that's in reference to
my
the
DHL, by the way. Why did I get the that's like the last, you don't want DHL. You want FedEx, you want UPS. DHL.
Yeah, that's in reference to the thumbnail. We have a great. Have you seen today's thumbnail, Dave?
Dave's is the best, by the way, so far.
I actually had a suggestion where I was a baby being delivered by a stork with mail in my bonnet.
That would be good. I'm
Talk to the AI.
away in the poll.
I was willing to pose for it and everything, put on an oversized
AI will
diaper,
take care of all that.
find a giant, stork to carry me around. Not a peep from Thomas. Thank you, Thomas.
All right, here's what we got for the end of the show, by the way. For a spot in the leftover leagues.
Oh. Okay.
You have to guess specifically a brand item. So it can't just be like jelly or butter in Dan's refrigerator. And he has to open it and show us before the show is over.
I love it.
Also, Dan, can you just real quick show everybody the size of your water bottle?
Oh, well, it's not a water bottle. It's a seltzer bottle, plain seltzer, sparkling seltzer water. It is big, yeah.
Now I know why you.
Way to go.
Now we know why Dan podcast from the bathroom. Anyway, Jerome Ford mispracticed with a minor injury. Where's my and he should be fine. The Raiders released defensive tackle Christian Wilkins, and they voided more than $30 million in guarantees. So he's filed an appeal with the NFLPA. But this was huge offseason addition, literally and figuratively, for the Raiders last year. He got hurt super early in the season, maybe one game, and they think that he did not have surgery when he should have. So they are voiding his guarantees and releasing Christian Wilkins.
He'll be playing in Miami again if he's healthy.
Ashton Genty is excited to catch more passes, get used in the passing game more than he was in college. Kansas City running back Brashard Smith.
Is that now two running backs that have said they're going to be more involved in the passing game? So we got to keep a counter. That's two. One in the lining up a receiver and one in catching more passes.
Yeah, it's a common theme in this time of year. Brashard Smith, though, kind of another one here. So he's rookie running back for the Chiefs. He's been lining up a lot at wide receiver, and he is actually a converted wide receiver, so that makes sense. And keep an eye on Jalen Royals, rookie wide receiver for the Chiefs. He could play if Rashee Rice, but maybe I should say if and when Rashee Rice is suspended.
Darnell, did you get the other running back note for the Chiefs?
Well, so what is it? That Pacheco and three guys were taking first team reps.
Yeah, I think it's important for Mitchell.
Yeah, Hunt, Mitchell, and Pacheco.
Yeah,
I guess I have a little trouble determining what's worth bringing up and what's just smoke signal.
Well, I was just asking if you saw it.
I did, yeah.
Do you remember the level of crisis mode fantasy managers went into last year when Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier were splitting practice reps 50-50?
Honestly, no.
I remember that. No, I completely. You don't remember that? That was crazy last year. Yes,
a lot's happened between last August and now, so I'll cut you some slack on that. But everybody went crazy, and the reality is that these teams don't practice based on how games are going to go. They want to give their players as much work as they can. So, and it could change from day to day. So one day there's three guys working in the Chiefs backfield and rotation. 2 weeks from now, it could be 4 guys, it could be 1 guy. We don't know what the teams are trying to accomplish from day to day in practice. So I don't try and get caught up in any of that. I don't want to.
Well, I think for certain teams though, it absolutely matters. Like in the case of this, where you have one guy in Smith who a lot of people are saying he should be the handcuff for fantasy. If he's not getting first team reps while 2 other guys are with Pacheco, I'm very interested in that. And so looking at who's going to be the guy behind somebody who broke his leg coming off of a disappointing season, when they bring in 2 guys, like I absolutely want to know who's taking getting those opportunities. So if I'm looking at it with my last pick and it's Hunt and Mitchell and Smith are all there, and you're telling me that right now Mitchell's getting first team reps, especially based on the contracts that these guys got. Mitchell got more guaranteed money and a higher salary, more guaranteed money than Kareem Hunt. So that's very interesting to me.
Okay, a couple more news items for me.
Still sharing with 2 other guys.
Of course he is, but
yeah,
if you're drafting tomorrow and you want to handcuff Pacheco, if they're so inclined, like who are you taking?
None of the above. I'm definitely taking a player on a different team.
Okay. I mean, we just did a whole pick by pick thing about why late round picks matter.
They do. Well, still, I can find other players that I would rather have than Kareem Hunt and Elijah Mitchell. I think I can get those guys off waivers.
Maybe. Or if somebody drafts them, then you have that guy already locked up.
All right. Darnell Mooney left after falling while diving for a ball. Doesn't seem serious for him. And report out of Indianapolis, or their camp, Anthony Richardson did not have a great day in camp yesterday. And I don't think Daniel Jones was amazing either, but
he wasn't. He was checking down. He was not doing anything crazy. He wasn't throwing 15-yard bombs.
He was checking down. Daniel Jones? What? Wow.
He's in midseason form. Get excited, Indianapolis.
All right. So a quick note to those of you who bought a spot in the FFT Open. You're probably wondering, where's my league invite? We'll set up those leagues likely next week, send out invites pretty soon, but don't worry, you haven't missed anything. We will get those out. Next week, we are on CBS Sports Network. Yeah, love these shows. These shows are a lot of fun. CBS Sports Network, 1 o'clock Eastern on Monday and Wednesday. So please tune into that. Again, 1 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Network next week, Monday and Wednesday. Time for your Draftathon questions. A reminder that everybody who is having their question read donated at least $50 to St. Jude, and we are over $60,000. So a big thank you to everyone. Alex says, I have a keeper question. Okay, sorry. Let me skip this one. We'll get back to that one. Michael says,
we need to talk about that one.
With having over 25 drafts, what do you recommend in how to manage all of these leagues, specifically the waivers, trades, chats, and setting roster lineups? So, Jamey, I'll throw that one to you because you have like 100 leagues. Well, I don't know. You're usually around 25. How do you manage all of them?
Being commissioner in almost half makes it easy to sort of determine what days you run waivers. So I would recommend, if you can, try and find a way to do Tuesday night for half the leagues and Wednesday night for half the leagues, because it just makes things much easier. You're going to have a lot of overlap, so that's going to make it easy on you to figure out, which players you like, which players you don't. Clearly, when you're making your waiver moves, I think that falls in line as well. It's a challenge. I mean, obviously, it's not easy when you increase the number of leagues that you play in and making sure you have time for it. The chats and stuff, that's up to you how much you want to participate in those type of things. But I think just from a roster management standpoint, you have to allot a lot of time. I obviously have the benefit of doing this for a living, so I can, make that a priority. For those of you that don't, it's clearly a professional hobby. So just, realize that it's going to be a lot of work and hopefully a lot of reward.
How long does it take you to go through all your ad drops on a Tuesday?
Ugh.
I mean, again, it's not every league on Tuesday, so it helps. But I'm a glutton for punishment, so I don't like spread it out throughout the course of the day. I do it all at once, so it's usually about probably hour to 2 hours.
It's at least an hour.
Do you?
But again, it's different for me because I'm writing the waiver wire column. I know who's available in most of my leagues, so it's.
But there's still the process of like clicking back in.
Yeah, that's the hard part about it. I know once upon a time I thought we we discussed the way for people to, I think this was your idea, Dave, about on our, if you play in multiple leagues on our site or on a certain site, like there should be some way to, if you're trying to add a player, you could add him universally, to make it easy on you. But look, it's part of the strategy as well, right? You're trying to figure out ways to beat the other people in your league, and every league is different. That's why I play in these leagues, because I enjoy it.
I'll say this.
Oh, go ahead, Dan.
I just find it interesting because it's just the importance of this. The person who won my home league last year had more moves than each of the other two divisions combined. And it really just goes to show, like, whoever's grinding and whoever's putting the most work in does have the best chance to win.
Small sample size, in my opinion. Sometimes you get people who win the league and make hardly any moves throughout the year.
There are examples of that sometimes, but I think you'd see that more over time. More likely, the winners are the ones who are the most active.
Well, you're throwing more darts at these, Elijah Mitchells and Kareem Hunts of the world, to see which one hits and has those chances to be league winners.
You got to be active. I don't know if you have to be the most active. All right, next question.
You have to be active. Absolutely.
You definitely do. Yeah. This is from Mike Grosshandler. Hey there, Bud, Vic Vega, Grouch, and Mr. Blonde.
These are all characters from Quentin Tarantino movies.
I think they're Madsen, right, Dave?
Michael Madsen.
Yeah. But isn't that all still Quentin Tarantino movies?
I don't know who Grouch is.
Probably. No, maybe not.
You say Vincent Vega?
Well, Mr. Blonde definitely is. Vic Vega definitely is. I think that might be the same person.
No, Mr. Blonde is Reservoir Dogs. Vega.
Isn't Vic Vega?
Vic Vega is an incredible name, by the way.
No, it is. You're right. It is. Vic Vega is.
Yeah, Vincent Vega was from Pulp Fiction, and that was John Travolta.
You're right. Good call, Dave. Vic Vega.
Don't mess with me. I know my Tarantino stuff. Loved him when I was in college.
Who would you guys pick as my second keeper in a 12-team PPR tight end premium keeper league with 4 starting wide receivers? We have an 8-man bench. We have an IR slot, and it's tight end premium. It's big tight end premium. 1 yard is 0.15 points, and 1 reception is 1.5. Okay. So, man, this is a lot. I'm keeping Trey McBride as an 11th round pick. My other options are Jaden Daniels as a 6th round pick, Brian Thomas as a 4th round pick, or Rashee Rice in the 12th round.
Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
It depends on Rice's suspension right now. So if you have to make the decision today, I would go Thomas. If you have time to wait and it's a 3-game suspension or less for Rice, then I'd keep Rice.
If you can keep Rashee Rice for a 9th rounder next year and a 6th rounder the year after that, it's a no-brainer that it's Rice.
Right. I didn't include that in what I said, but that
Thomas gives you the best chance to win now, though.
Yeah, but they increase 3 rounds every year, so Dave's going with Rice. All right, this is from Mark. Oh no, sorry, this is from John J. from the weirdest city in Texas, Dave.
Waco.
They say keep Austin weird. It's got to be Austin he's talking about, right?
Do they say that?
Yeah, Austin, let's stay weird or something. It's like their tag. It's like the city's motto line, like keep it weird or something.
All right, John. Well, we're going to answer your question after this weird break. So we'll be right back on Fantasy Football Today. All right, Dynasty League, half PPR, 12-team auction league that has a $500 player budget, 22 roster spots, $200 fab budget. All right, if you keep a player, the value goes up a certain percentage based off their prior year's salary. For example, under $25 goes up 100%. Over $100 goes up 5%. The issue I want feedback is on the structure, on who we're allowed to keep and how to determine their cost. Commissioner believes in a fluid market where the latest cost is the value we use for the increase. For example, if you drafted Mike Evans for $80 and he gets cut for injury and picked up on fab for $50, then his new keeper value is $50. In addition, this also allows any free agents picked up during the year to be kept at their latest fab bid. It's completely skewed the market as tight ends and quarterbacks are going for under $10 since you can find guys easily on the waiver wire. I've been proposing to only allow the draft to be the value that players can be kept at. So no free agent pickups can be kept and no manipulation of dropping them and rebidding the price. So what do you guys think? It is important to know it's a $500 budget in the auction and then a $200 budget in fab. So Dan, what price should we be using?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a 15-year salary cap league where similar issues have come up. You should always use the draft price. We also have flat fees for the free agents, and we also have after week 14, no free agents can be kept. And this is because we've run into so many problems. There was a year where Arian Foster was picked up late, just like injured players picked up late when teams are out of it to stash their bends and give themselves these like great keeper opportunities. You have to stick with the draft value. And in my opinion, you should put a cap on when free agents can be kept, the week they can be picked up, where they can be kept.
Agreed.
Yeah. Good. All right. Good.
Yeah, I think it's just, no keepers allowed in the fantasy playoffs. So
That's a great call.
And you can't drop a player and then rebid them for like, 80% less of the value of what you got them for in your auction. That's no good. And
Like,
also,
what if a player's injured for the year? You cut him, and then nobody's going to spend a lot of fab. So now,
right, and then you're getting them back for $1. Like you're cheesing the system. I applaud you for trying to be a weasel, but it shouldn't be allowed. Also, if your fab budget is like 40% of your auction budget, then you can't use those two, but you can't weigh those the same way when you're going to keep players. There should be some sort of mechanism to keep players that you pick up as free agents. Is it as simple as whatever your winning fab bid is? You pick up Elijah Mitchell and you pay $5 for him, and then he turns out to be the next great running back for the Chiefs, and you want to keep him next year. Should you just multiply that value by 2.5? And then that's the price that you've got to measure him at, or multiply it by 1.4, whatever. I'm getting nerdy.
No, I think
with my math.
No, you were right.
By multiplying by that, but then you also have to add the inflation that they already have baked in for the 20.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Next up, Jameson has the second pick in a draft. It's a keeper league. It's standard scoring. He has Marvin Harrison Jr. and Devon Achane on his team through keepers. Should Jameson draft Bowers, Hampton, or McCaffrey?
It's PPR or no?
No, standard.
Ooh.
McCaffrey.
It's the only reason why I might say Bowers is if you want to keep him for the rest of his career.
What about Hampton, though?
Yeah.
Standard scoring.
Yeah. I'm still going McCaffrey.
I think if you're trying to win now, it's easy to say McCaffrey.
We seem to forget that, like, his last healthy year, McCaffrey was like entering games minus 195, minus 200 to score a touchdown from Vegas. Like, he's a touchdown per game kind of guy for your fantasy team.
Perfect for standard leagues.
It was that year. He set the record for most consecutive games with a touchdown, or maybe he tied it. Andrew from Savannah says, Dear Eddie, Chris, Derek, and Earl.
Oilers/Titans running backs.
Yeah.
Wow. That was phenomenally fast.
Now, what's the McGruber line? Because that was what applied there.
Oh, you thought I got there at the same time as you, if not slightly before you.
Yeah.
You have to say, you have to finish his sentence. You have to be like, Titans quarterback. I got the same, you didn't do it right.
This holding the mic thing is killing me. It's just killing me. You just keep it up. Just stop it down. Just keep it up. Keep it up the whole time.
I don't want to keep this up the whole time because it's painful, and I'm not going to do that. And I don't see why I have to.
It's painful.
Try to give you tennis
holding
elbow.
a microphone.
He's trying to get me tennis elbow before our match. That's exactly right. Trying to get tennis elbow.
Oh, I got an interesting phone call about that yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah,
what was that?
I think it's a mistake. I'll tell you right now.
What?
All right, so here's an update. I think we have a date. It's looking like August 14th is our date. It's a Thursday, 4:00-ish. We'll keep you updated. We're going to live stream it, hopefully on YouTube. And we got a video crew there.
Okay.
And Jamey, it looks like, is going to be the commentator for the match.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
But I don't see why you should do that in New York, personally. I just do it from home. It's not like you can't sit there in the court and commentate while we're
not?
While we're hitting in the middle of a point.
I'd like to hear it. Yeah, I'd like to see live reaction to the show.
Oh, so you're just worried about yourself. That's what it is. Not about the audience. Worried about
you ever watch a tennis match?
Adam is really going through it. He sent me an email yesterday.
I'm not doing play-by-play.
Adam sent me an email yesterday. It was beyond pathetic. It was basically him conceding the match before it even happened. And I really the lack of confidence he has in himself at this point, it's troubling to say the least, because he knows and I know I won't be taking it easy. It's not like him sending me the emails like, oh no, Adam, I don't want to hurt his. I'm going for 0-0. Like, I'm not going for 2-0. I'm going for 0-0 in this match. I'm going for blood.
I know.
I've already booked the flight home Thursday night, figuring it's gonna be a quick one.
You get right back out there. While we're on the nonsense portion of the show, very quickly, I need to make a clarification because I have seen some emails flow in about last week's take. I need to clarify last week's take with the whole I'm on the plane, you're jostling for the armrest. I understand that when I'm in the aisle, when I'm in the window seat, I agree the middle seat deserves the left armrest. I'm not denying that. With that said, the middle seat in this situation had taken the right armrest from the person on the aisle and was taking the entire left, just taking the whole thing with leg into my space. This was not a normal situation. I'm willing to give up that armrest normally. I get it. The window, you're not supposed to get it. It's fine. But just don't take up so much space that I'm jammed into my own body. I really feel like I'm okay. I'm okay saying that. And I stand by my take as long as you understand that. I wasn't like I was trying to take everything here. I was just trying to get a little bit of space. And that's all.
Very selfish of you. The leg thing bothers me. The middle seat should get 2 armrests as a
2 armrests for the middle seat. That's crazy.
Well,
One apiece.
No, that doesn't. There are 4 armrests for 3 people. Somebody has to get 2.
Okay, but I'm okay with that too. But when you go over the armrest, that's the problem. He wasn't in the armrest on it. He was over the armrest.
Okay, well, that's a problem. But he gets 2 armrests. He has to.
That's what I meant by jockeying for it. I had to like establish some ground and just give him a little idea of like, look, man, I'm here and I'm just gonna take all of this.
Yeah, he overstepped.
What would be better viewing? Play-by-play on your tennis match or play-by-play on Dan jostling for the armrest?
By the way, Dan, when you say the word jostling, do you think of curb?
Yes.
Jostling the feet.
Most of my vocabulary comes from that man. Sorry, David.
All right, here we go.
Let's get back to the show.
Oh, thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. Andrew says, longtime listener, super excited to be participating in the Draftathon for the first time. I have a question about an IDP league. Listening to your best value episodes recently, it was mentioned that Travis Hunter in the 5th round was good value. How would that change in an IDP league? We're required to start 1 defensive lineman, 1 linebacker, and 1 defensive back. So most teams pick a run support safety in about the 8th or 9th round for a consistently high floor. Looking at some rough projections, Hunter looks to potentially beat those safeties by 2 to 4 points per game. Would that make Travis Hunter a round 2 or 3 pick? So what do you guys think?
It's still so uncertain how much time he's going to play. At this point, I think defense. First 2 practices so far in training camp, he's been mostly on offense. Now, Liam Cohen has said they're going to give him time to play both sides of the ball, and we'll see how this all plays out. He might be on defense right now, for all we know. I don't know. I'm not going to really factor it in. Some sites, I think, and Dave, you could probably answer this because I think you've had some conversation about it. Like if you play him on one side, one position, he's not going to count. His defensive stats are not going to count. It's all still somewhat fluid as far as I understand it. So just something to keep in mind there. But I mean, look, if he's going to get defensive stats, the thing about the position that he plays and the way he's going to play it is he's probably not going to get thrown at very much. It may happen early in the season, but if he's going to be a lockdown corner, he's not going to get a lot of tackles. He's certainly not going to be on a lot of run obvious plays because they're not going to risk him, getting hurt, making tackles. That's not why he's going to be there. He's going to be there to stop opposing passing games. So I just don't think it's going to matter from a defensive standpoint that much. Unless he's a full-time defensive player, in which case you're not drafting him that high. There's
only one way you're drafting Travis Hunter with a pick before round 10 in an IDP league because of defensive stats. And that is because you can use him as a defensive back. So it's going to be site specific. If you can use him as a DB and get the points that he can get as a wide receiver, then forget about round 5. Like that's probably a round higher. It's probably worth it because you're cheating a little bit by putting a wide receiver at defensive back. On CBS, you can only use him as a wide receiver. We don't plan on having any means to use him as a defensive back. And if he did have usage as a defensive back in fantasy, you would only get points for his stats as a defensive back. And Jamey cleared
how's the scoring working there when you're putting him in your lineup at wide receiver, and he's in your starting lineup, but he's getting defensive points.
I mean, on CBS, it can't be done unless your commissioner manually does it. On other sites, if you're an idiot, if you're using him as a wide receiver, and you could use him as a defensive back.
Right,
but I would assume on another site, if they're going to give you all the points that he accrues, maybe he's good for another couple of tackles a game, and maybe an interception on top of that once in a while, past the fence once in a while. Yeah, you'll get a few extra points out of him, and that'll bump up his value. You'll draft him 1 round sooner.
Okay, so here's the thing. I just looked at Sauce Gardner's stats, and he did not have great stats last year. He had 1 interception. He had 1 sack. He had 36 solo tackles,
right.
13 assisted tackles. Those stats, 1 point for solo tackle, 0.5 point for assisted, 2 points for interception, 2 points for sack. That's actually pretty low. That still gave per 17 games, and that was only in 15 games, by the way. So I'm being very generous here. 2.8 more fantasy points per game. So that's bad. That's a bad year statistically for a defensive back. One who doesn't get thrown at a lot, one who didn't make any plays, is a terrible tackler in Sauce Gardner. If you're telling me that we're going to be potentially adding 3 or more fantasy points per game to Travis Hunter, and I can start him at wide receiver and get his defensive back points, or I could start him at defensive back, like that's a huge deal. That takes him to a 2nd round pick probably, or at the worst a 3rd round pick. So
except Sauce Gardner played every defensive snap. We don't know how often Travis Hunter is going to play defense. So I can't say he's going to get 3 more points per game. That's why I'm not going to put him into round 2. If we knew he was going to play 120 snaps a game, then round 2, absolutely, maybe even round 1.
All right, let's finish up our draftathon questions here. This is one from T. Sneed, probably the best question we've had yet. For as many times as Dan is featured on the show, I always wondered why his name is not included in the intro. Is it because of his terrible non-fantasy football takes?
Probably for you guys, not me.
We're going to be making a new intro soon, so maybe we'll throw Dan in there. Next question is from Chris. 30 seconds for arguing / angst for a made-up player, Mad Lib style. What? First person to go makes up the name. Rebuttal decides team and situation. No laughing. Okay, so we need a fake player argument.
All right. Levante Williams.
Who?
Levante Williams.
Levante Williams. Dave, what team is he on?
He's on the Austin Senators.
Jamey, what position does he play?
Center.
Center. All right. Do I have to make the argument? Listen, guys.
Yeah, 30 seconds. You're running out of time.
People are sleeping on Levante Williams. I know he's a center, but I think they might give him the ball on the Statue of Liberty play a few times this year, and I think he's going to score. If you play in a touchdown-only league, look for Levante Williams with a late-round pick. Bear Dude wants to know, where would you draft Caleb Williams in a dynasty?
We didn't have the argument against Levante Williams.
Where would you draft Caleb Williams in a dynasty superflex startup league?
Dynasty Superflex Startup League, round 2, the latest.
Well, let's be a little more specific.
I mean, it just depends how much you believe in Caleb. I still believe in his talent, and I believe in the situation around him and Ben Johnson and the upgrades on the offensive line. I don't think it's going to happen right away. That's why I don't suggest taking him in redraft. He has a really tough schedule to start this 2025 season. But Dynasty Superflex, I'll take him back end round 1, early round 2.
Do you take him ahead of Baker, Bo, Dak?
Yes.
Yes. All 3 of those guys, even Bo Nix.
I would take Bo Nix ahead of him.
Definitely. I would definitely take Caleb over Bo Nix.
Obviously, you're going to take the elite tier quarterbacks ahead of him. So we're talking about maybe the 7th or 8th quarterback off the board.
All right. Next up, David, the Bear Dude. He actually bought 2 questions. Startup Superflex draft. If you had the option, Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts, Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua, or Brian Thomas Jr.?
Daniels and Neighbors for me.
I'm with Dan.
Oh, everybody agrees. Daniels and Neighbors. Okay. Magic Giants. Remember we were supposed to have Magic Giants last week.
Magic about the Giants.
The week before. We finally got his question. In a dynasty league, how do you know when you're ready to go all in and compete or continue the rebuild? Yeah. I mean, I think you just have to not have any questions. Don't look at your team and be like, well, could be 6th or 7th, maybe make the playoffs. You got to know. You got to, because I've had some teams that have been playoff good, but I've been lying to myself, and I should have just started the rebuild, and instead of just trying to make the playoffs or something like that. And I'm rectifying that in this dynasty league that I'm in, Big Burger. So to me,
Done a
it's
good job of that, though.
It's got to be pretty obvious.
Looking back on our trade, I'm very regretful of it.
What was our trade?
I thought I killed you. It was my early 2nd round pick for your late 2nd round pick, and I got Diggs. So I got Diggs in your 2nd round pick, which was 210, and you got 2-2. And 2-2 ended up being Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, and 210 was
I got a AD Mitchell, who I like, but not in that situation.
And I traded McConkey.
You traded McConkey?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. For what?
As part of the Jaden Daniels deal in our Superflex league.
Even I already knew that. I'm not even in
whoa. What was this? Was a blockbuster I missed?
Get out of here. Yeah, you missed it. All right.
Just one last thing. I'm in a dynasty league where I've got more 30-year-olds than a nightclub in Boca on a Saturday. And the second my team A is like 500 and B, the schedule is tough, I'm punting. I'm cutting the cord and we're going into rebuild mode. It's a situation like that where you can kind of see the pathway is more likely that your team's going to suck than your team's going to be a contender. That's when you just make the move and you start rebuilding.
All right, let's take a break and come back with the Fantasy Cops with some emails and your Apple Podcast questions and your YouTube questions. We'll be right back after this.
Here we go. The 2025 CBS Sports NFL schedule is here. 18 glorious Sundays.
He's got his receiver touchdown.
Filled with rematches.
Oh, the play of the year.
And rivalries.
Touchdown, Bengals.
Plus, plenty of superstar showdowns. And an epic matchup between the Chiefs and Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Clear your Sundays beginning September 7th for the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Yeah, the sweet sounds of the Fantasy Cops. If you're new to the show and you're like, what the heck is going on right now? Got a commissioner dispute? Got a league dispute? Send it in to fantasyfootball@cbsi.com and put Fantasy Cops in the subject line. Here we go. Dynasty question. With the recent news of Justin Fields' injury, which turned out to be nothing, one of our league mates jumped on the fantasy app after seeing the news of the injury and picked up Tyrod Taylor. The outraged Fields manager was mad because he was at work and didn't have time to get to his phone right away. So he's calling for a rule change to daily waiver wire pickups, while the guy who got Fields says, no, we already had our rookie draft and the rules for the year have been set. As commissioner, I'm torn because I see it both ways. Should we change it to daily waiver wire pickups? That way everyone has a fair chance at a player. Or should we keep it to whoever gets on their phone the fastest wins? New Adam will say, snooze, you lose. Oh, don't be so sure. New Adam has a lot of curveballs to throw at you. Jamey, I'll give you the first word. What's the best way to handle transactions after the rookie draft?
If the rules have already been in place, it's hard to change them after one transaction. You could put it to a vote and say, from this point forward, how would you guys like to handle this if somebody is, petitioning for a change? But if the rules were in place for that, then this move should be allowed. And if you're going to change it, you change it after the fact based on a vote.
I think that everyone will agree on that. And in our Dynasty League, Big Burger, we do fab. So every day, every night. By the way,
our Dynasty League Big Burger is a great example because you've had some really odd commissioner power trips in that league.
Okay. I'm not going to screw you.
But you technically did. You technically did.
Jamey, right? I'm not wrong about that.
You, Adam,
multiple power trip moves.
You, Adam, has something to say. Jamey, take your right index finger, put it on your mouse, go to that league and click accept and reverse the Justice Hill trade already. It's been 3 weeks since I told you to do it.
No, that's more out of laziness. But if we're talking about rules, you made a rule after that situation happened.
Which was what?
There was nothing written in place that said I did anything wrong.
No, there was. I said that you guys have to adhere to your roster.
You said that after it happened. You did. There's nothing written.
There was a moment where Adam lied.
I'm adhering to what you said because I don't want to make you upset. But there's nothing. There's no league rule that says what I did was wrong.
I have said this before to the league that you have to.
But where is it? Where is it in writing?
In the message board.
It is.
Yeah, it's in the archives.
He has all these weird message board posts that like sporadically pop up, and it's like him making a rule on the fly that we have to just then like deal with, and hopefully you saw the message.
Okay. So anyway, I recommend daily fab, but you can't go back in time and make the rule. It is what it is. All right, next Fantasy Cops is from, again, no name. Hey, Dwayne, Chip, Alfredo, and Lige. These are people who have spots left in the FFT Open. Yes, that is true. So go sign up for their leagues. 2 years ago, a handful of my close friends made a fantasy league. It's a very active league with a mix of friendly yet competitive players with newer people and veterans. The first year was a pilot to see if everyone was keen and enjoyed it. It went really well. So year 2, we decided to go from redraft to 2 keepers. We're now going into our 3rd season, but first keeping players from last year's draft, okay? So first year as keeper. Here's the problem, though. The commissioner didn't clarify if the keepers were going to be any 2 players or if it was going to have to be a round penalty based on the previous capital that you spent on drafting the player. Well, the draft is coming up and the league is split. Half passionately want to keep players with no draft penalty, while half want to keep with a draft penalty, and both parties are saying they drafted last year with that idea in mind. The worst part is, I am the commissioner. Personally, I like the idea of keeping players at their draft cost. It keeps the most parity in the league. Being transparent, this would also help my team, and I won the league last year, so that gets thrown in my face every time the conversation comes up. What do I do? If it matters, there is a significant buy-in, so it's fair for people to be pretty fired up about this. Dan, I know you've got a hot take on this. What should they do? Keep the 2 players at the cost of last year, at no cost, or some other solution?
This is wild that the commissioner, no offense to you, let it get to this point. You have lost control of your league, but you need to get back control. It's a significant buy-in league, and you need to set a precedent here. And you need to say, listen, I understand that this looks like it benefits my team, but for the greater good of the league, of course we need to be keeping them at some kind of cost. Of course, we're not going to just be some willy-nilly league that just says if you luck your way into, I don't know, remember his first year, Jamar Chase had like a bad training camp with drops and he was like a round 13 pick. You don't just get to keep him no matter what. You have to pay some kind of cost. So look, you got to take control of your league, man. You should have never let it get to this point. It's on you, but you can still fix this. Just step up, be firm. As a commissioner, don't be Adam, basically. Do the opposite. Be Adam as a commissioner and think everything should be all right.
That's awesome. Dave, your thoughts?
I would make this suggestion. For this year and this year alone, everybody gets to keep 1 player for free and 1 player at a draft cost. Next year, move it to 2 players at draft cost.
That's the voice of reason, Dave Richard.
And by the way, if you draft Jamar Chase in round 13, because the reports say he's having drops and struggling to adapt to the NFL game, and the rest of your league doesn't buy into it, but you do, you deserve to benefit off that for as long as you possibly.
I agree, but not as long as you want to keep the league.
You're the one that drafted him. You're the one that gets to keep him. It's the Rams aren't rushing out to make Puka Nacua a top 5 highest paid receiver. They drafted him in round 5. They're paying him peanuts. He's got to do autograph signings and appearances at dealerships just to get some cash compared to what he's making as an NFL player. The Rams have no reason to extend him. Why would they? They don't have to. But when they do, when the time comes, they will. And so it's the exact same thing with keeping a player that you draft with a late round pick. This is for everybody that took Bucky Irving with a late round pick and held on to him last year. Yes, you should be able to keep that guy for a nice long time. And then eventually his value will be worth significantly more. Maybe you make it. Yes. We had a question earlier where you had to pay up 3 rounds higher for a player from where you picked.
That's my question.
I don't mind that at all. That's fair because then eventually all the players get back into the talent pool.
For those listening, because you're not going to see it if you're not watching on YouTube.
Johnny's the best.
It's too good of a comment not to put on the podcast as well. Johnny Airport, great listener and constant commenter, said, this segment is just a passive-aggressive way of trying to teach Adam how to commish. I couldn't agree more.
I appreciate it.
He's got a lot to learn. All
right, so there you go. I think we have a good solution there. All right, it's meme time. We've got a new segment. Let's take a look at a funny meme from our social media team. What's a fantasy football prediction that you feel this way about? And there are about 1 million people standing on one side and one guy looking at the 1 million people going, yes, you are all wrong. So is there something that you are on an island about, a fantasy football prediction that you are just like, yep, I'm right. The millions of you out there are totally wrong.
Saquon's too easy.
Well, what is it?
That he shouldn't be a top 3 overall pick. I think for me it would be Levante Williams and not a top center in the league.
I mean, for me, it might be McCaffrey as my 3rd overall player, but
McCaffrey's
also
one of them for me.
I think I did a poll. Oh, so I can look at this Twitter poll I did last week. Who do you like in PPR, Neighbors or Brian Thomas Jr.? And 73% said Neighbors. And right now I'm Brian Thomas Jr., but I might be. I don't know. I don't have as much
I
conviction.
think there would be 27% of people standing with you.
Exactly. Not 1 in a million.
I'll go with this one. You're better off drafting Malik Neighbors than Justin Jefferson this year.
That's a bold one.
That's nice.
We'll see how it finishes. I have a strong feeling about it. I don't love the McCarthy situation there, and I don't know if it's going to go as well as people think just based on Darnold and everything that's come before it.
Oh, okay. How about this? Isaiah Pacheco is a top 12 running back.
That's a good one.
That's good.
No one else really believes that. I think that fits. I'll go Travis Kelce, top 6 tight end. Yeah, we're just getting him in round 8 now.
6 tight end.
Yeah, I'm back.
Wow, that's so
I think he's
I thought I might quit this guy
Wait,
this year, but now I'm back.
No, I have to make fun of you. Hold on. I believe he's tight end 6 in ADP.
Oh,
Not
is he?
tight end
That
5.
just shows how bad the position is. He's being drafted in like round 10 in our leagues. Like
If you say he's back to 1, that's bold.
back to 3 is bold.
I'll say 3. Yeah, I'll say 3. Look, it doesn't take much to be tight end 3. You just have to you just have to fall into like 10 touchdowns. He could easily fall. He's going to fall into 10 touchdowns this year.
He has 8 total the last 2 years.
I know. It's been
All right,
bad.
you know what?
Steep.
I'm going to be better. I'm going to be bold. Ricky Pearsall, top 40 wide receiver this year.
I don't think he's
You're all wrong. All right, Dave, you have one?
No tight end is worth taking with one of the first 30 picks in a fantasy draft.
I
this year.
love that take, but I don't think that's you on an island because I agree with that.
Damn it.
Okay, it's a pretty good one.
How about
still good.
Jared
It's
Goff?
still good.
Jared Goff is a top 10 fantasy quarterback still.
No.
And I'm with
that's
Jamie
not
on
my
Saquon's closer to 10 than 5 for me overall. Not at running back, overall.
Ready for some emails? Fantasyfootball@cbsi.com. This is from Dino.
Tucker Kraft league winner.
I'm very hesitant to pick either Ken Walker or Joe Mixon as high as their ADP, given the fact that both offensive lines received such poor grades from Pro Football Focus this season. And PFSN. What is PFSN?
Pro Football Sports Network.
They're ranking offensive lines. Wow.
Yeah, that's new to me.
I'm afraid that their production will decline, or even worse, season-ending injury, given Mixon's and Walker's history, coupled with not a very good O-line. Do you believe these two RB1s are really worth their ADP, or are they potential busts? I will just clarify. They are definitely RB2s, but
Right.
Walker's pretty close. He's pretty close to top 12, so borderline. Well, I mean, the offensive line is a good point. I did do some research on this. It's not great, for guys to finish top 12. There's not a ton of history of guys finishing top 12 with horrible offensive lines, unless they catch a lot of passes, which I don't think is going to be the case for these guys, but maybe
Walker. Maybe Walker.
Yeah. So what are we thinking, guys? Are we sharing these concerns about Walker and Mixon?
Not Walker. Mixon a little bit.
For me, it's both. Concerns on both. For Walker, it's Seahawks have not done enough to upgrade that offensive line, but I do really like Clint Kubiak. So it's kind of I'm on the borderline with that one, and I'm worried about Walker's health. With Mixon, it's like I don't like the switch in the system there because I thought he was best for the Slowick outside zone scheme, and it was obvious when he was more efficient as a runner than at any point in his Bengals career. And now they're going to like more power gap man. So I'm like, I don't love this fit for Mixon moving forward, in addition to the weird injury situation. So definitely more concerned about Mixon for me.
I'm the same. Walker over Mixon. Both are top 24 running backs. Walker closer to 15 than Mixon.
I doubt I'll roster either of them personally, given the range they're drafted in and what I usually
like.
typically
I'm taking Kamara in full PPR over both of them, no problem.
Yeah, I'll take Walker over Kamara.
I'll take Walker over that and Kamara. I'm just down on Kamara though.
I just want to look up a stat on.
I know it's a blind spot for me, Dave. I'm going to be wrong again. I can't get over. I can't figure out how to get myself back on Kamara. Like, how much? Like, are we really like? For me, the biggest issue is he loses car. I think that's a huge issue for Alvin Kamara.
Derek Carr was so good.
No, because Derek Carr was really good at targeting running backs and checking down and getting through his progression to the running back. I also think Clint Kubiak has a lot of targets for him. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe Shuck can do it, I guess, or Rattler. I doubt it though.
So just in terms of the Seahawks offensive line, they drafted Gray Zabel in the first round, interior offensive lineman,
who I liked a lot.
Their right tackle Abraham Lucas has played 13 games over the last 2 seasons. So
hasn't been great and injured.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, if you want to consider those upgrades, you've got a first round pick coming in, and you've got hopefully a healthy right tackle. It could make a difference.
Maybe.
All right, next email.
And Houston's offensive line, there were all kinds of issues behind the scenes last year. So they really just went all in on reconfiguring the whole thing. There's a lot of new talent there. They're hoping that they have good chemistry and work together, unlike last year's unit.
Their offensive line sucked last year too. I've brought this up before.
They weren't on the same page ever.
I agree with that, Dave. Like the idea of hopefully without Tunsil and weird stuff that was going on there, like it somehow can get better from a continuity standpoint. But I don't agree with that. The talent being upgraded. I think they're less talent.
That's fair. I mean, they lost Laramie Tunsil, so how can you say that? But I think what they're going for is less talent on the line, but they're going to work together better.
As a Giants fan who's heard that idea a lot, I don't think it's not. It doesn't often work.
Yeah, it's talent. It's about talent. All right, next up, we got Wesley. He is picking 5th in a half PPR 12-team league. He's keeping Brian Thomas Jr. in the 9th round. So who should he take with the 5th pick? Does it matter basically that he's keeping Brian Thomas Jr.? There's Gibbs, Genty, Achane, or Lamb, Jefferson if they fall. What do you recommend, Jamey, for Wesley?
Lamb for sure if he's there. Jefferson would be the next choice, and then Achane would be the next choice after that.
I'm toying with the idea
toward the running backs for sure.
I'm with Jamey here. I'm actually even toying toward the idea of putting Lamb as my wide receiver 1 this year over Chase. I'm debating it.
I'm with Jamey here to 52 minutes and 10 seconds for.
Well, that's just me. It could have been Dave if Dave had liked Lamb as much as I do. I mean, listen, Lamb 1,700 yards, 132 catches, and 12 touchdowns with Dak in his last healthy year. That's what I'm going off of. Not
he was the same point per game as Chase.
Targets per game.
I think Pickens is going to help him.
Having that,
Pickens is going to help. That's true.
I don't agree on that.
Yes.
It's
so much coverage is going to be shaded. You can't just leave Pickens one-on-one.
The coverage thing to me is I've never bought into that argument. Give me an example. Because I think targets are much more important than this whole he's not going to get double teamed as much thing. And give me an example of a team adding a good wide receiver and it not taking away targets. Like I'll tell you right now, when they added Devontae Adams last year, it was really, really bad for Garrett Wilson.
What about Jefferson Adams?
Had like the best year ever for a wide receiver, and T. Higgins was on the field for 12 of them.
And that has not been the case his entire career, first of all. And you're talking about Joe Burrow, who threw for 4,900 yards. I think it's going to elevate. I think it's going to elevate Dak Prescott. I don't think it's going to elevate CeeDee Lamb. By the way, T. Higgins only played 11 or 12 games.
Well,
so by the way, there was another example. Oh, you mentioned Jordan Addison. Look at the target per out run rate last year for Justin Jefferson. It was not much lower, but it was lower than what we'd seen before because Addison and Hawkinson were on the field. So, and the target rate went down for Jefferson.
So based on that, are you worried about Puka?
And Brian Thomas
because Cooper Kupp was getting a ton of targets last year.
Jefferson, by the way, was number 1 in consistency, top 5 in PPR points per game, number 3 in total PPR points at wide
receiver. But it didn't help him. It did not help him to have Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson.
Well, it sure as hell didn't hurt him.
It did hurt him. He used to be 100.
Help him if Dave just went over how consistent he was.
No. How many targets did he have last year?
He had, drum roll, please,
But
9.1 per
the
game.
idea is not that
Hold
adding
on,
a talented player is
hold
going to
on.
lead to more targets. It's going
154.
to lead to more efficiency and fantasy points.
He had 154 targets. He wasn't. I don't think he was more efficient last year. 154 targets. He used to be 170.
He only
180.
averaged 14.9 yards per catch, which is better than any
It's
other.
not that it'll lead to more targets. That'll lead to better production, not more targets, more efficient.
I think the easy thing though, Dan, for you is if you like Lamb that much, obviously you can rank it however you want to. Like you're going to get him in the first 5 picks easily.
Right.
I shouldn't say easy, but you have a chance to get in the first 5 picks. Like to me, it's
First
easy.
3,
1,
yeah.
2 at this point. Chase is 1, Lamb is 2, Jefferson 3.
I don't think Pickens is a big target earner anyway. I think he's
Right.
Right. So I don't know that even matters, but I don't think he's going to make Lamb better. I think he's going to make Dak better.
My theory is that the Cowboys could be just like last year's Bengals, and they just end up throwing
Love
a ton.
that theory.
And there's going to be a lot of volume for both of those receivers.
Yeah,
their
that'd be great.
secondary is not, their secondary is this at
Beat
best.
up.
Yeah.
Their secondary is
fantasy-
beat up. Their pass rush has Parsons. Everything else is a question mark. D-line's a question mark. Linebackers are a question mark. They're going to give up points.
Agreed.
To answer your question, Jamie, I am a little concerned about Puka Nacua, but I don't think there's anyone who's without concern. If there's anyone that like I'm not worried about their targets dropping, it's Nico Collins. He has and Neighbors.
Don't worry about Neighbors.
Well, the thing about Neighbors, this
Had
is
like
what I always
50% of Russ's targets so far through 3 practices.
right, but this is what I always come back to with Russell Wilson. Just throughout his career, he is usually not throwing the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he throws the ball deep a lot.
The Giants have the toughest schedule though in the NFL. They're going to throw a lot.
And they're going to lose a lot. And they're going to bench Russell Wilson, and they're going to go to Jackson Dart, and then we're not going to want Malik Neighbors over Brian Thomas Jr. That's my operating theory here. But
Neighbors dominated last year with Drew Lock. I mean, I don't see how much worse
did.
it can get worse than Drew Lock.
I think Malik Neighbors' rookie season was overrated. It was great, and I love him, and I think he might be the best wide receiver in football at this time next year. We might be talking about that. Maybe it's not a talent issue. But he did not exactly overcome bad quarterback play. He had 170 targets in 15 games. He the target rate was. The efficiency metrics were not. He wasn't as good as Brian Thomas. Yes, exactly. And that's my concern is that it's going to suck again once they bench Russell Wilson for Jackson Dart.
Can it be worse than Daniel Jones, Drew Lock,
Yes.
and Tim Boyle?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes, it can. And if not worse, it could be marginally better. Could
That
be.
I'm okay with listening to. Yeah,
All
I
right.
think if Daboll's coaching for his job, he goes to Jameis instead.
possibly.
Maybe. All right. Tim
Davis
Weldon
gets
and
in there. Malik Neighbors might be wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Tim Weldon in Lexington, Kentucky wants to know if we're worried about Ashton Genty facing a pretty weak schedule in college last year.
No.
And it being
No,
overrated.
not particularly. Like my bigger issues are like RJ Harvey coming from Gus Malzane's scheme, or like Dylan Sampson or Jalen Wright coming from the Heupel scheme. Like as far as the competition goes, that's less of a concern for me. I've seen a lot of good backs come from dominate at just across the NFL. You see a lot of players make it to the NFL without facing top competition on a consistent basis at the college level.
Brock Johnson says, I'm really wondering why people who have the first pick in fantasy football redraft don't just take Chase and then Higgins and then Burrow.
People do this. I just saw someone do this in one of our, was it the St. Jude draft? Someone did something close to that.
They did 3 of their first 4 picks. They
Yeah.
could have taken Higgins. They decided to take Kyron Williams at the 2-3.
You got to go all in. You got to go
So
all in at
it
that
was-
point.
It was Chase Brown, Jamar Chase Brown, and Joe Burrow with 3 of their first 4 picks. And they had the opportunity to take Higgins, but passed on Higgins for Kyron.
Is there any way that the Bengals can replicate those offensive stats from last year? They were like
Yes.
31st in defensive DVO. It feels like such an outlier.
Their defense is going to be horrible this year if they don't have
It's not gonna be
Hendrickson.
good,
And
but
it's
it
gonna be
can't be
bad
as
even
bad.
with Hendrickson.
All right.
They could just as easily be in the exact same spot as last year.
That's fine. I can agree with that. It's fair based on the talent.
All right. So Joe Burrow last year. Let me see if I can find the stat. Okay. Last year, Joe Burrow threw for 4,918 yards and 43 touchdowns. So again, I've given this before. I'm going to give it again. Over the last 4 seasons, healthy Burrow, healthy Higgins, healthy Chase. Damn it. Where is it? Okay. Here are the yards. 4,968, 4,945. 2023 was horrible, 3,750. Last year, 5,076 was a 17-game pace. Did they not? That was right. That did not include every game because it was just the Higgins healthy games. So 3 of the last 4 years, when Higgins and Chase have been healthy, Joe Burrow's been on pace for 4,945 yards or more. The touchdowns, 35, 42, and 44 in those 3 good seasons. So I do have this. This is one of my favorite stats. When those 3 guys are healthy, I don't think it's unreasonable to almost expect 4,900 yards and around 40 touchdowns. And that's why I'm regularly attaching myself to the Bengals offense with my first 4 picks. Okay. And by the way, Trey Hendrickson is holding out, right? Did you mention that?
I did.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I mean, I would assume that they'll get it figured out and he'll play. They're the worst defense in the league without Trey Hendrickson, bar none.
Let's look at some Apple Podcast questions. Great way to have your question answered is to leave us a 5-star review and tell people why you like the show, and you can leave a question in there as well. We have one from Kai Sauce. In sleeper IDP leagues, does anyone know how Travis Hunter will be scored? Is he able to get both wide receiver and IDP points?
I don't know.
I don't know.
On
The sleeper
sleeper,
setting. No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We do not know the answer to that.
Well, Scott Fish said it where he can get defensive points. What is allowed?
On Scott Fishbowl, yeah, right. This is from Spiral or something. You should sell personal calls for St. Jude as part of the charity. Dan can call and shame whatever you had for lunch. Adam can call a league member and give misleading stats. Heath can kick someone out of the league. They can wish Dave happy birthday, and Jamey can laugh in the background for all of these calls for a fee. I like it.
I think we kind of do something like this already.
We do.
I don't think we're doing them this year.
I think we are, but not a lot of them.
This is for Joe, who just wants to say thank you. He's keeping Bucky Irving for the 5th round pick, and he can't wait to draft.
Nice.
And last one here is, it says Raphael is the better turtle. Oh, it's the same one. It said Raphael is the better turtle. Adam has good takes. So yeah.
Of course you read that one.
Yeah,
The
well, I'll
best
read them
turtle,
all.
I think is Michelangelo.
It's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Well, he's the party dude.
I think I don't really like Mike. He's my least favorite.
Look, he's the party
I thought
dude.
Leonardo was your least favorite.
Did I say that?
Thought so.
They all rotate as my least favorite. Raphael is by far the best. But no, I think I can respect Leonardo. He's a leader. Michelangelo is just, God, wouldn't that get so annoying? Imagine if they were your roommates. Eventually, I'd just be like, Mike, stop. I have a test tomorrow. Just stop, dude. Just order the pizza and shut
Driving
up.
around in the Forerunner.
Oh, God. All right, let's just get some questions from YouTube here.
Don't forget the guesses in Dan's fridge.
Oh, yeah. Guess what's in Dan's fridge? You can do that too. Guess what's in Dan's fridge. Get your guesses in right now. This is a great
You guys have to make guesses too.
From Nathan Thompson. Which of your 2025 fantasy takes are you most worried will come back to haunt you?
Saquon will not be good.
Probably going to be my McCaffrey take. I'm on the Adam bandwagon there, and it's haunted me much last year, so I hope it doesn't haunt me again.
Where do you have him?
I have him as RB2, I think. Either RB2 or RB3, and then 5 or 6 overall.
Okay.
You might be pretty upset, though, if Kelsey finishes tight end 7.
Kelsey could easily finish tight end 1, in my mind.
Dave, what do you think might come back? What are you worried will come back to haunt you?
Having Christian McCaffrey too low.
Too low?
I already have him
All
8th
McCaffrey
overall.
based.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh, man. What is it for me? Maybe that I'm not. What'd you say?
Neighbors?
Yeah.
I think
I'm
another
not-
one for me is
Off Neighbors, though. Go ahead.
just like, I feel like there's a lot of times in fantasy drafts, you have guys in that middle tier. I do a lot of auction leagues. You have guys in that middle range, that ranked 20 to 45, that you feel good about and you have good opinions on, but you don't budget you don't allocate your budget in a way where you can draft them ever. You just don't end up getting these players. So players like Marvin Harrison Jr., who I think could have a good bounce back season. Some of the rookies, I'm just worried about not getting enough of those guys. Caleb Johnson, RJ Harvey, players who I really like.
I'll tell you one actually that's freaking me out, and am I just too low on Baker Mayfield and missing him because
41 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, and he averaged in the last 7 games of 2023, he averaged 25 fantasy points per game, including the postseason. And then last year he was even better than that. And he's not even that expensive.
You're scared of being too low on Baker Mayfield?
I'm scared of, I mean, I called him a bust earlier in the offseason. I won't say that now because I think his ADP is so much lower than his production from last year. But yeah, I'm scared of skipping Baker Mayfield.
I'm scared of being too high on Baker Mayfield because last year could certainly be construed as an outlier year for him.
When would you take Baker Mayfield?
I'm waiting long time to take him. He's my QB7, but I would try and get him close to 100th overall. I have him 92nd overall.
I can't imagine there's a league where I'll be drafting Baker Mayfield this year.
Someone's going to take him. Someone's going to take him in every league, 12 picks after Mahomes.
Ape says Adam is Michelangelo, Dave is Raphael, Dan is Donatello, and April. Jamey is Leonardo.
Wow, Ape.
I am the least party dude of everyone.
You are definitely the least party dude of everyone.
He followed it up with said Heath is Splinter.
Oh, he is Splinter? I think I'm Splinter because I'm like an old.
No, I think you are not a Splinter. Heath is definitely more Splinter than you're Splinter. You're definitely not Michelangelo either, though.
All right, we got to figure this out. I think I'm Splinter personally.
You're not Splinter.
Oh man,
you don't have it in you to be Splinter.
He is a rat though.
Wow, I don't even know how to interpret that one.
Oh man,
appearance base was that the actions? I don't even know.
And yes or no? Do you have Breyer's vanilla ice cream? Vanilla in there?
Wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna look at the freezer too.
Spicy brown mustard and a box of baking soda for freshness.
Half right.
You have the spicy brown mustard?
No.
Yeah. What do you think? Is Bulldog in the leftovers league, Jamey?
Well, I said specific brands, so I mean, baking soda is not exactly like. You gotta say what Arm & Hammer.
I don't even know if it is Arm & Hammer.
Oh, that is so funny. All right, question from Jonah.
Great value baking soda.
What are the top backup running backs to target?
Jordan Mason count as a backup running back? I guess he does.
For sure.
He's up there. Charbonnet, Garendo,
Dobbins.
Why not?
I mean, yeah.
Right. He's a good backup.
There's so many. It's almost like there's got to be like a somewhat of a sliding scale.
Dobbins has to be up there.
In Dan's fridge, there's a golf club as a weapon, some Parmesan cheese, and Andrew Thomas's ankles on ice to protect him for the year.
Awesome. That's awesome. There should be a club somewhere around here.
I'm going to guess there's a large amount of bottled water in your fridge.
Oh my God, that's the best possible guess anyone could have made. This is going to be so embarrassing when I open this up.
I'm going to guess water spring, but I'm like a huge, like 48 count plastic wrap water bottle.
They're usually
just shoved right into the top shelf of your refrigerator.
This is so accurate that it's weird.
How many people do you live with?
Seen in there. One other.
Chicken nuggets.
Do you label each other's food so like you don't steal each other's food?
No, there's actually no. He just has the bottom. I have the top.
They have their own shelves.
Dan definitely has. Well, by the way, do you have chicken nuggets?
No.
Dan definitely has kombucha in his fridge.
It's a good guess based on who I am, but I don't currently have it because I'm going through intermittent fasting, and you can't drink that because it'll break the fast.
Adam is Splinter. He holds the party together. I agree on that.
He's not Splinter. He's just not Splinter. And I need that to be clear.
Almond milk. Do you have almond milk?
No.
Okay. Do you have tennis balls?
No, I don't practice. I just beat Adam without practice.
I got a playoff match tomorrow, by the way. Excited about it. I'm not
aware of your cheating.
My cheating? What did I do?
What?
What cheating? What the hell are you talking about?
Adam got caught cheating?
I mean, did you almost get disqualified?
Oh.
What?
No. Listen, I have integrity. I'm a self-rated 3-0.
All right.
And I haven't lost. The season's almost over. I'm undefeated.
Wow.
And if you beat people like very convincingly, the computer could bump you up to a 3-5.
Okay.
So I was concerned. We won 6-2, 6-0 in a doubles match the other night, and I was concerned I was going to get. Somebody said you might get disqualified, and we're in the playoffs. But thankfully, I did not get disqualified.
Qualified for saying that you're a 3-0 when you should be playing 3-5.
The computer, you input the results, and the computer would bump me up to a 3-5.
So why don't you just play the 3-5s?
I'm not good enough to make the playoff cut in the 3-5 league. I am on the 3-5 team, but we have better players there.
So you are kind of rigging it so you can.
No,
Splitzer would
This is
never.
definitely a new Adam thing. Old Adam would never have let this.
Oh,
happen.
no. But what people do in these tennis leagues all the time is they throw games. So sometimes they'll lose a match. But
It's like sandbagging in golf.
I will not do that. I will not do that. If I get
not.
bumped up, then I get bumped up. So be it. But
Jamie, if you're going to be in New York, you might as well be the lines judge for us as well. I'm getting a little concerned.
Dan has a list of
Two
daily
rolls.
affirmations
Wow.
and his Wi-Fi password on a sticky note inside the fridge. All
I
right,
need
let's
a
see.
list of daily affirmations, Lou.
Dan has Giants film in there.
No.
Philly cheesesteak hot pockets.
All
All right, we're ready to reveal. I think baking soda is going to win.
right. Let's see how we can even do this. Can you even see from here?
Yeah, you're going to have to tell us.
Let's open that up. We'll roll this closer, see if we can get a little shot in there.
Let's all leave the studio except for him.
Okay.
Okay. This is interesting. Let's see what we can do here. So here we go. We've got the bottled water that Dave mentioned. Not as much as usual. We got kosher dill pickle spears.
You also
Carrot.
have a water pitcher filter on the door.
No, I don't use that. I don't use tap water.
Then
I'm
why
not a
is it
tap
in your
water guy.
fridge?
Because somebody else lives here and he uses it. We have Trader Joe's. This is the best sauce in the game right here. Trader Joe's jalapeno sauce. Literally the best sauce in the game. You cannot beat that sauce. And I stand by that comment. Kosher dill pickles.
This is the best segment we've ever done.
Relight hydration. Some nectarines back there. Some yogurt. Some kettle cooked.
That's all your shelf?
That's on my shelf. Some kettle cooked chicken noodle soup. And then I got some stuff at the bottom. I got little half and half. I treat myself occasionally. I don't want to go black coffee every day. And I got these Prima protein bars. And we have one more shelf down here where we've got organic peanut butter and some chomps. But eventually, I do treat myself. Up top, we go to the freezer. Now we're working with ice cream sandwiches. We've got strawberry lemonade ice bars, and we've got some other kind of ice cream thing up there. And yeah, that's it. That's all we got.
I don't think anybody won.
It's a pretty barren fridge. Dave won with the bottled water guess. That was unbelievably accurate.
No, I think the guy who guessed Dave's sleeping. The guy who guessed the baking soda has to win. By the way, you put peanut butter in the fridge?
I like peanut butter in a fridge, yeah.
Oh, that is awful. That is the worst thing I've ever learned about you. You are so
Why?
wrong about peanut butter in the
Why?
fridge.
What do you mean?
You can't even spread it. It's too cold.
No, but you don't understand. I don't use your BS peanut butter. I use organic peanut butter you have to stir. So it's better in the fridge. You stir it up and then you put it in the fridge.
You don't know what organic food is like until you come to my house. My entire house, my front door is organic.
I feel like you're a Jiffy peanut butter kind of
So
Get
guy.
out of here.
Let's plan out this tennis thing. So how's it going to work?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a camera crew.
Uh-huh.
I think you're not coming to New York. It doesn't make any sense. There's nowhere for you to do this. You'll be disturbing
Wake
the
up,
guests
Dave.
at the tennis club. So we stream it, and you sit at home and commentate on it, and we take donations throughout the match.
We take donation of the match. We also should do some kind of setup where Heath, who did a great job of this last year, sets a line on the match. He set it at 2.5 last year. Total games for Adam, and Adam won 2. So I actually beat the line, but just as a reminder, it was 6-2, 6-0. But we need to do something where you can bet the line, because obviously nobody can be stupid enough to bet Adam. Like last year, no offense if you were that person, but someone actually bet Adam to win the match. Like crazy stuff going on. Like we'll do it with the spread this year for sure.
All right, I gotta go. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. No, we'll talk to y'all Monday. Have a wonderful
Wake up, Dave.
We'll see you on Fantasy Football Today. Again, have a great weekend and talk to you soon.